Let's be real for a second. You already know touch is powerful, but did you know there are 7 specific places you can touch a man that make him feel so desired, so emotionally connected, he literally won't be able to resist you? And no, I'm not talking about the obvious ones. This is deeper. These are touches that activate his nervous system, ego, and even his attachment response. Some are emotional, some are physical, and all of them will make him crave more of you, even hours after you've walked away. So don't go anywhere, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where and how to touch him to create an experience he won't forget. Why touch is a psychological trigger for men. Most people think men are primarily visual creatures. And that's true to a point, but here's the deeper truth most people overlook. Touch is one of the most powerful emotional triggers for men. It's not just physical stimulation, it's communication. Touch says, I see you, I want you, you're safe with me. Men don't always express their feelings with words, but they do feel things intensely through touch, especially when it's intentional, warm, and targeted in the right places. Science backs this up. When touched affectionately, men release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That's the same chemical responsible for deep emotional closeness and trust. So if you want to leave a lasting impression, forget the overly rehearsed seduction routine. Just learn these 7 magic spots. Place 1, the back of his neck. This one's sneaky powerful. The back of a man's neck is incredibly sensitive, both physically and psychologically. It's an area he usually protects. Think about it. It's where stress builds, tension sits, and rarely do people touch it unless it's someone he trusts. So when you touch it, it flips a switch. Try this. When you hug him from behind, lightly brush your fingers up the back of his neck, or when you're saying goodbye, give a quick neck squeeze with your lips close to his ear. This small gesture hits his sensory nerves and ego all at once. It feels intimate, safe, and deeply personal. That's why men associate neck touches with comfort, arousal, and emotional closeness, especially when it's unexpected. Bottom line, if you want to send a silent message that says, I'm close, I care, and I choose you, this is where to start. Place 2, his jawline or beard. You know how some men become statues when you gently touch their jaw? There's a reason for that. The jawline is deeply tied to a man's sense of masculinity. When you run your fingers along his jaw, or through his beard if he has one, it triggers both physical and emotional responses. Why? Because it's ego-affirming. You're literally caressing his most masculine feature. Unexpected. Most people don't go for the jaw. It catches him off guard. Intimate. It pulls him into your space. And slows him down. Try doing this during a deep conversation or right before a kiss. Look him in the eyes, gently touch his jawline, and let your fingers linger for just half a second longer than usual. He won't say it out loud, but internally, he's screaming, "What is happening to me?" Touching his jaw isn't just physical, it says, I see the man in you, and I like him. That is unforgettable. Place 3, his lower back. Let's move a little further down, because the lower back is one of the most underrated zones for triggering connection. It's not overtly sexual, it's not aggressive, but it's boldly intimate. When you place your hand gently on his lower back while walking together, hugging, or even guiding him through a door, it creates this primal, magnetic moment. It says, I trust you, I want to be close, I'm subtly claiming this space. What makes this spot special is that it's right at the center of balance, so your touch automatically grounds him. It draws attention without being dramatic. He may not even realize why he feels a rush, but he will. It sends a silent message straight to his body. This woman is in sync with me. Plus, the lower back is full of nerve endings, so even a brief touch there can light him up from the inside. So next time you're close to him, reach for his lower back. Not aggressively, not by accident, intentionally. Then watch how he subtly leans into you. Place 4, his inner wrist. This one? It's subtle, intimate, and almost never touched. The inner wrist is packed with nerve endings, making it incredibly sensitive, but not in a way that's overwhelming. When you gently brush, hold, or trace your fingers along this spot, it sends a message that's part comfort, part curiosity, and part connection. This kind of touch bypasses the surface level and whispers, "I notice the parts of you others overlook." Try this. Next time you're talking, teasing, or flirting, gently take his hand and draw a slow circle on the inside of his wrist with your finger or thumb. He might act cool, but inside, he's short-circuiting. Because it's unexpected, delicate, and emotionally intimate. It says you're not just in it for attention, you're here for something deeper. Place 5. His chest, not just in bed. Most people touch a man's chest only in bedroom moments. But what makes this spot powerful is when it's touched emotionally. The chest, especially the center or just over the heart, is where we carry stress, emotion, and vulnerability. When you rest your hand there during a conversation, kiss, or cuddle, you're grounding him. You're not grabbing, you're connecting. This is why heart-to-heart hugs feel so different. It's not just the closeness, it's chest contact. Try it the next time you're cuddling or saying goodbye. Place your hand gently over his heart. No pressure, no performance. He'll feel seen. He'll feel safe, and whether he admits it or not, he'll remember it. Place 6, his hairline or scalp. Let's talk about one of the most calming, addictive forms of touch. Running your fingers through his hair or along his scalp. This is the kind of touch that relaxes the nervous system. It tells his brain, you're safe, you're home, let go. It's soothing, gentle, and if done slowly, downright hypnotic. What makes it irresistible is that it blends physical sensation with emotional nurturing. It reminds him of trust, of affection, of being taken care of in a way that most men rarely experience. You don't need to tug or mess up his style. Just a soft graze at the hairline or a lazy stroke while lying down together. And when you do it with care, not performance, you'll watch his shoulders drop, his mind slow down, and a deeper connection bloom in the silence. It's not just arousing, it's anchoring. Place 7, behind his ear. This final spot is so underrated, it's practically a cheat code. The area just behind the ear is sensitive, warm, and incredibly receptive to gentle touch. But it also feels unexpectedly intimate. Think about it, no one touches that area unless they're really close. That's why when you lean in and trace your finger or lips gently behind his ear, it sends goosebumps straight down his spine. Even a simple whisper combined with a soft brush behind the ear triggers both emotional and physical reaction. It taps into trust, arousal, and emotional surrender. This is the kind of touch that makes him pause mid-sentence, close his eyes, and lean closer without even realizing it. Because the message is clear. You're mine, and I know how to love you without saying a word. Why these spots work better than the obvious ones? Here's the truth. The obvious spots are expected. They're physical, easy, automatic, but these 7 places? They're emotional, they're personal. They make him feel chosen, not just desired. When you touch a man in ways he's not used to, in places that whisper instead of shout, it stays with him. He doesn't remember the moment with his body, he remembers it with his heart. These touches make him feel safe, seen, and wanted for more than just the surface. And that is why he can't resist them. Touch him like this, and he'll crave you more than attention. Like this video? Hit like, subscribe, and try one tonight.